Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pickity Pat Podcast. Welcome, everybody, if it's your first time listen. Hope you enjoy it. Welcome back, everyone, if you have already listened. Today, on our third episode, we have Garth Oxner. Garth is a co-owner and a volunteer host at the Classic Hits Canada online radio channel. You can check them out at classichits.ca. I'd like to take a minute just to give acknowledgement and remembrance to all the people that unfortunately passed away a year ago this weekend due to a mass murder at Portapique and other various places in Nova Scotia. They're going to have a moment of silence this weekend, so check it out. You can find that anywhere online. But for this episode, we're going to talk about Garth Oxner's radio channel and his other events that he's taken place with in parts of Nova Scotia and anywhere on the East Coast. So hopefully you enjoy the episode. Let's give Garth a call right now. Sat around one lazy day with nothing much to do. We ventured to the liquor store to grab a beer or two. We just ran out of bullets shooting targets with the gun. So Pickity grabbed the microphone and got on some friends for fun. That's how back got started, that's for sure to say the least. We're gonna talk to everyone that's from us in the East. That's how we roll with Pickity Pat. That's how we roll. Pickity Pat with Pickity Pat. Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing, Garth?
I'm great. Can't complain. Nobody listens anyway.
That's for sure, huh?
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about yourself.
I currently live in Lucasville, Nova Scotia.
Oh yes.
And we just bought a house here, or actually it's like a mini home. And so I'm married. Play a bit of guitar. I'm kind of retired now.
Nice.
And that's about it. Not much to tell. I own a radio station.
Right. Yeah. And the name of that radio station is Classic Hits Canada version.
Classic Hits Canada. That's exactly right.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it sounds like a good station for sure.
Yeah.
Do you guys run that a certain amount of hours a day, or do you run it 24 hours?
It's 24 hours a day.
Oh, nice.
And basically, it's kind of a combination of live programming and a kind of a server auto DJ type of thing where we're running 24 hours a day, but we don't always have live programming.
Oh, right. Yeah. So when you do that, do you have like programming, like the pre voices and whatnot, or do you just stream music the whole time?
We just stream music the whole time with station identification stuff in between.
All right.
Yeah. We don't do the automation thing. If it's not live programming, we don't make it as if it was kind of live programming. We just play music and only air live shows. And we also have syndicated as well
Cool.
that are recorded and so on. Yeah.
Oh, that's really neat. So where you say you're from, where's that close to? I'm trying to get a bearing on it.
Yeah, it's actually just outside of, or just this side, I guess, of Hammonds Plains.
Okay.
That might be easier. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty neat. Where are you from? Nova Scotia originally?
Yeah, I was born in Germany. His dad was in the Canadian Air Force.
Oh,
And
wow.
and then we moved back when I was about 3 or just shortly under 3, and then I've been here basically my entire life. Yeah.
Oh, wow, you live a very exciting life.
Well, I guess so. It depends on your definition of exciting, but
Yeah, well, yeah, I think radio and stuff is very exciting. Some people obviously may disagree with that, but I could do it all day long.
yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is an East Coast podcast, just to enlighten you a bit. I still do it actually, a guitar podcast called Six String Sense. And then some people started asking me if there was any way they could join it, but they didn't play guitar or didn't know anything about guitars really. So I started this one based on the East Coast, since that's where I'm from, and a lot of very exciting people from here. So um, a lot of the questions I'll ask you are basically about the East Coast and what makes it unique and whatnot. But are there any things that you can think of that you find you've ran into over your life that was very unique to the East Coast?
I would say music, big time. Like
Yeah.
I love Coast music. I run a program on Saturday morning called Forever Celtic,
Oh,
and so I showcase a lot of East Coast music on that show. I mean, it's basically Celtic music from all over the world, but I mean, most of it is Newfoundland music and Nova Scotia music and music from PEI and so on.
awesome. Did you get to interview any of the big wigs, the Rankins, the Alan Doyles,
Yeah,
those type people?
we don't actually on Forever Celtic. We don't actually do a lot of interviews. I'm certainly up for doing that,
Right.
but I haven't as of yet. I ran into my wife and I were in Newfoundland a few years back, and we met Colin O'Brien of the Irish Descendants.
Oh, nice.
That was kind of interesting, yeah. And yeah, and I'm familiar as well with the and friends with the Saunders brothers. I don't know if you're familiar with them or not. Terry Saunders.
Yeah, I've heard of them for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So they're kind of in my circle as well.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So you say you play guitar. Are you basically a Celtic type music player, acoustic guitar type thing?
Gospel is actually my background.
Possible? Cool.
Yeah. But so I mean, I play. I'm not by any means a professional. And then a few years back, I developed something called Essential Trimmer. Catherine Hepburn had that, where you shake a bit. Now my shakes are not as bad as they used to be,
Right.
but it still can be a challenge when I play guitar or keyboard or whatever. But I mean, it's certainly a challenge, but it doesn't stop me from having fun and making a noise.
Yeah. Well, that's good that you can at least make a noise and stuff.
Exactly.
I don't know what I'd do if I mean, I've had troubles before where the tips of my fingers, I have extremely dry skin all over, and
Yeah.
my fingertips will bleed, and it doesn't hurt that much unless the string goes into the crack, but
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
kind of a minor inconvenience because I could put band-aids on or whatever, but I can't imagine like just not being able to play.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not even remotely close to that where I can't play, but it's just it does provide a challenge. But then a few years back I saw a guy with no arms,
Mm,
street busker, playing. It was a YouTube video or something, and he was playing
yeah.
guitar with feet, and
Wow.
amazing job. So it's if you really have the passion to do something, you're going to figure out a way to do it no matter what, right?
Yeah, yeah. It kind of diminishes our problems when we see people that are able to do something like that if they really want to.
Exactly.
We complain about some very minor things compared to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I got into the bass a bit more. I
Yeah.
bought actually a bass just kind of before the pandemic started. So I got it in I guess December of 2019. Does that time frame work?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that works. Yeah. So and then of course the band that I'm in, we haven't been. It's a kind of gospel band at a church in Eastern Passage, Nova Scotia.
Right.
The band that I'm in. I mean, shortly after that, we I think we played once or twice, and then the pandemic hit. So I haven't really been working on the bass too much, but every now and then I dig out the bass too, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah, yeah. The bass is fun.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that it's an easier instrument than the guitar, but Some guitar players think it is, but they're probably not that great on the bass. Like some extremely good bass players can make that thing sing like crazy.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I can play like a bump 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 bump, but
Yeah.
the good ones blow me out of the water by far.
Exactly. I mean, it's all patterns and so on, right? Yeah. So it's but yeah, I mean, I'm by no means a a professional bass player, but like I said, I do have fun with it. So
Yeah. Have you gotten to do many things outside yet this year?
well,
Post snow.
not really. And my wife and I just came back from a bit of a, I guess, a staycation. We went to Liverpool this past weekend. We had to get away and just kind of relax and unwind and so on. We just moved my mom actually into an assisted living facility.
Oh yes.
And anybody that's had to move a parent know that can kind of be a trying time. So we kind of got away and had a great time this past weekend. And but other than that, we're because of the pandemic and so on, we're basically staying home for the most part.
Yeah, we do a lot of that too. Fortunately, we're still we live close to the water, so staying at home for us is in some other people's minds that live in not close to the water areas. It's a dream for them. We get up, we can go kayaking or canoeing or boating or go walk the beach, whatever we want to do, right? So we're very fortunate in that regard.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. You did your show today?
I did. I run a morning show on it's called Garth in the Morning on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and basically that is in keeping with another show that we run called JV in the Morning, where I have a friend of mine from California, and he gets up at 4:00 morning, 4 a.m. his time.
Wow.
And he does a morning show starting beginning at 6 a.m. his time, and he's on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from that would be 10 a.m. our time, 10 till noon Atlantic time.
Oh, nice.
So that kind of evens out rather our morning programming on Classic Hits Canada. So we have a morning happening 5 days a week. So.
Wow. See, I told you you were busy.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So how can people tune into that show or all those shows?
It's very easy. Well, basically, if you have Google or Alexa, you can just say play Classic Hits Canada on TuneIn, and you can listen to it through your smart speaker, or you can also go to classichits.ca. And we have numerous players on our website that you can tune into as well. And of course, we're all available on TuneIn and so on.
Oh, that's great. Hopefully, the people that are listening to this podcast will give it a try for sure.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah. And it's commercial free. We don't make any money off it, and we do it because we love radio. We kind of miss the old time radio for those of us. Ancient, but
oh, I remember that. I guess it depends what you call old time radio, but I grew up on the AM radio for sure.
Yeah.
Well, nice, Garth. I won't keep you too long. This made for a real good episode. This is the third episode. I call it the Pickity Pat Podcast. Just a name my friends used to call me, and had to come up with something for the show.
Exactly.
Seemed to catch on a bit, so yeah, they're the third one. We had Daniel Ross on it last week from Ross Screenprint, and we had Sarah Kahn on the first episode, and she's a mental health advocate. Very, very informative girl. So you'll be the third, and it was great talking with you. We'll
no worries.
Hopefully get you on again and check out your radio for sure.
Absolutely.
Awesome, Garth.
Nice to meet you, Pat.
You too. Have a great day.
You too.
Cheers.
Okay. Bye.
All right, everyone. Well, that wraps up episode number 3 of the Pickity Pat Podcast. We'd like to thank Garth Oxner for joining us as our guest, and we'd like to thank all of you for listening. Don't forget to drop by our Instagram page, our Facebook page, and give us a like, and maybe subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you the next time around with episode 4 coming up. Thanks for listening. Take care. Cheers. Sat around one lazy day with nothing much to do. We ventured to the liquor store to grab a beer or two. We just ran out of bullets shooting targets with the gun. So Pickity grabbed the microphone and cut on some friends for fun. That's how that got started, that's for sure to say the least. We're gonna talk to everyone that's from us in the East. That's how we roll with Pickity Pat. That's how we roll with Pickity Pat. With Pickity Pat.